So Marvel's Spider-Man 2 is the latest Spider-Man game that everyone is hyping over. And me personally, I cannot wait to play this game. The story is going to be well thought out, integrating all of the stuff from Marvel's Spider-Man 1 and Miles Morales, intertwining and interweaving their stories, whilst also building up villains like Venom and Kraven. It is going to be absolutely awesome. And yes, I've made my fair share of Marvel's Spider-Man 2 videos over the last few months, but let's talk about the future. I know this might sound a little bit premature, but let's talk about Marvel's Spider-Man 3. So why are we talking about Marvel's Spider-Man 3? And there is one reason why, and that is the superior Spider-Man. Before we continue, I want to ask you a question. Do you enjoy watching Spider-Man and MCU content on YouTube? If so, then Lewis Unlimited is for you. With a vastly affordable price, you can get everything from exclusive bonus content, early access to new videos, influence over upcoming videos, and much more. If that sounds appealing by any means, go unlimited today. You won't regret it. Okay, back to the video. Now, if you guys don't know what the Superior Spider-Man is, it was a comic book written by Dan Slott during his run of the Amazing Spider-Man comic series. Now, the Superior Spider-Man was its own thing, but was a continuation from Amazing Spider-Man 700, which ended a massive run of Amazing Spider-Man comics. Now, the Superior Spider-Man is one of the more recent Spider-Man comic runs that is generally applauded by the fan base. The fan base really liked Superior Spider-Man because it was something new, it was something fresh, it was something that we have never seen before. But it did something with the character that was very interesting. It took the character of Otto Octavius and essentially made him Spider-Man. The story has Peter's conscience and Otto's conscience swap bodies in order to keep Otto Octavius alive as he was dying from cancer. And once Doc Ock actually succeeds and becomes Spider-Man, he then vows to be the superior Spider-Man. He goes on a journey of responsibility and once again learns that Peter Parker basically is the only Spider-Man that could ever be, as he feels like the weight and the pressure of handling the responsibility that Peter Parker had at the helm of Spider-Man was way too much. And in a battle with the Green Goblin, it was fitting that Peter Parker made his return to his body and inevitably saved the day. And I think this story would be perfect for Marvel's Spider-Man 3. Now, the first reason for this is we've got to look at what Doc Ock's motifs from the comics actually were. Now, Doc Ock in this period was actually dying from cancer, and this is essentially why he wanted to take over Spider-Man's body. Because Spider-Man has, the perfect health. He is literally a genetically modified human that has increased strength, increased agility. Who wouldn't want to be Spider-Man, right? And in the Marvel Spider-Man games, we know that Doc Ock actually has a neurological disorder, which will prevent him in the future having access to his limbs, which is obviously why he created the arms in the first game. So taking this motif, this would be perfect to do Superior Spider-Man with. Doc Ock obviously wants the perfect body to live out the rest of his life with. Why not transfer his consciousness into Spider-Man's body? And since Doc Ock knows who Peter Parker is, and that relationship has been deteriorated throughout the first game, I think Doc Ock would enact his revenge on Spider-Man by putting his own mind in his body. Not only would he get revenge, but he would also carry out and complete his mission from the first game. But that isn't all. We actually have more hints and evidence throughout the first games that suggest that Superior Spider-Man could actually be coming to the Marvel Spider-Man game franchise. And that is in fact none other than the Green Goblin. We know the Green Goblin is being built up as one of the main antagonists of the entire series. There has been hints that Goblin is coming throughout Marvel Spider-Man 1 and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales. Specifically in the post-credit scenes of both games, there was this green tint in one of the labs at the Oscorp mansion. And we know the green is obviously the main color of the Green Goblin, which symbolized and foreshadowed the Goblin eventually coming to fruition in these games. Either way, everything that is happening with Harry Osborn's character as well definitely is going to tie into the appearance of the Green Goblin. And Norman Osborn definitely will become one of the main villains at some point in this franchise. But how does this tie into Superior Spider-Man? What has this got to do with Marvel Spider-Man 3? Well, one of the main storylines inside of the Superior Spider-Man comic run was in fact Goblin Nation. Now, if you guys aren't aware of what Goblin Nation was, essentially Norman Osborn wanted to take over the entire city of New York. And the way that he would do that is essentially he would have goblin minions, and there would be basically multiple goblins throughout the city, including himself. Now, we know that one of the main gameplay mechanics that the Marvel Spider-Man games tend to use is that the bigger bosses usually have little groups of minions that are scattered throughout the city. Like, for example, Silver Sable has the Sable Outpost. In Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, we had Roxxon Outpost. We also had Underground Outpost. We also had Wilson Fisk's henchmen, etc. And in Marvel Spider-Man 2, we are more likely going to have Kraven followers scattered throughout the city. We're also probably going to have groups of symbiotes scattered throughout the city as well, if the game is to go down the symbiote city route. Either way, Goblin Nation would be a perfect story to have a city-wide event where goblins invade New York. And once again, this ties into the Superior Spider-Man story, as this was one of the key components at the end of the series. This would also work with the fact that Norman and Otto actually have history in this universe as well. As you guys will probably know, Norman and Otto actually both worked together as scientists in their past in the Marvel Spider-Man universe. So they have that relationship, they have that bitterness between them, as they are not working together any longer. We know Norman, as the savvy businessman that he is, actually sacked Otto off to take Oscorp for himself, leaving Otto in the dust and essentially to do his own thing. It's the perfect clash of heads, because then you would have Otto Octavius in Peter Parker's body as Spider-Man and Norman Osborn as the Green Goblin, and both of them would eventually come to blows, wrapping up that story set up in the first game as well. So I definitely think a lot of things and a lot of hints from the first couple of games are definitely tying up and basically introducing the idea of the Superior Spider-Man, and I definitely think this would be a perfect story for the third game of the series. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think about this idea? Do you agree? Do you not agree? Let me know. Also, make sure to join the members club if you haven't already, because if you are a Lewis Unlimited member, you can get early access to every single video that we do post. And also, you get exclusive emojis, exclusive behind the scenes updates, priority reply to comments, and you also get sporadic content throughout the months as well that is exclusive to members, not to mention a monthly podcast as well. So you get a lot of content if you are a member. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Take care and peace.